Well, hello YouTube! Let's learn about getters and setters. And actually we have getters here. The task of getters is to grab stuff that we have already created based on template. So to get already existing stuff on a screen, okay? And the task of setters is to set stuff based on templates that we need to expand here. So we will, for setters, create a methods, dedicated one, for putting stuff in a, let's say, memory of PC while our program is running. So yeah, let's simplify this example a bit. I don't want to see these integers here. It's not needed for now. Let me clear this. So as I said, we have two getters here. And yeah, I don't need this. So now we have one. Okay, so the thing will totally work because we have already existing content here predefined. But here is the thing. How to set those things, like not directly, because this thing is in the private section, but indirectly using public setter. Well, that means we need to create one, and that means we need to have this thing unsetted, I mean blank for now. So how to do that? Well, like that, like this. So let's create method, and that method must be publicly available. Of course, you will use it to set things that are in the like private region. So using publicly available stuff to get into private stuff. Okay, anyway, let me type that setter void. Okay, and let's call it a set str, and let's change these things down there appropriately, like a get str, and down there, of course. Okay, so let's return to setter, set str, and here we're gonna use perimeter to reach that thing, to fulfill it with content. Well, to do that, we're gonna say string on the left side, because every time when we are using perimeters for the first time, we must say what is appropriate data type. See, same stuff. And I'm gonna use abstract x as well, abstract placeholder, as abstract name for any possible variation of things that we are going to put here. So abstract generic stuff. X will get the job done. Anyway, let's go to operations. Okay, so now see, just grab this thing, the name of that thing that we are going to use, the name of that container that we are going to fulfill with actual content using this abstract x. So let's use it on the left side, because we must do that like this. So some string, and now let's just pass to it any kind of thing we type when we call this function. So just copy paste this thing down there and finish it with a semicolon. Okay, so now this thing will be used to set initial value, and this thing will be used to grab that stuff, whatever it is. Okay, so first, to set stuff we must use setter, because right now if you run this thing you will not get useful result. See, we are just calling getter, but there is nothing here. We didn't set anything. So first we must use that set thing. So set str, and now we need to pass some kind string to it, and strings goes into double quotes, like Slavoj Žižek. Okay, so let's run this stuff, and we will not have anything on the screen, but actually this string right now is somewhere in the memory of our PC. I mean, I'm using the term memory, register, CPU, wires, chips, who cares? They are somewhere in the PC at the moment. Okay, so now we setted the thing, so now let's get it using appropriate getter method. Of course, with calling that object, because we have only one of them. So object dot, and there you go. You cannot reach string directly. You can just get it indirectly. So get str, And now you don't need to use any kind of parameters because you already done that through setter. Okay, so setter goes first and getter goes last. And now you will have Slavoj Žižek on a screen. I mean, name of Slavoj and not actual person. Right. There you go. We have our Slavoj. Now, let me think about another example. Okay, let's work with some kind of person database, like very simple one, like a name and a surname. So let's change these things appropriately. Like first we need to have string name and then also string last name. Okay, and then down there we will fix this getter, like get data, let's say, about person, and yeah, we're gonna print name here, and another thing is we will print last name. So now we have our getter, like our printing blueprint that is publicly available. Let me delete this blank line for some reason. Okay, so now we have it. Let's go to setter. Well, we're gonna work with the two things. So string x for name, getting a name first in a line, and also string y for getting a last name. So let's allocate things from right to left, from abstract thing to actual container, and let's change this thing to a get data, let's say. Okay, so what we are hitting, name, we're gonna get it when we grab stuff from temporary x, that's one thing, and we're gonna fulfill a last name container with something that is in abstract y, which is second in a line. Okay, and down there let's use those things in a main section. Okay, so let me delete this immediately. Right, let's set stuff like a get data, and we need to pass to it to what I was doing here. Set data. So first we must say set data. On left side, first thing will be name, of course, because see, first thing. So name will be Jordan, okay, and the second parameter or argument, call it whatever you like, will be Peterson. I hope he is well now. He has some medical problems. Anyway, not important at the moment. Hopefully everything will be fine for him. So right, now we have our data somewhere in a PC. Let me check that code. Okay, everything is fine. No results because we are not calling a getter here. So let's do that. Object dot get data. And now that's it. We don't need to use parameters because our method is not intended to work in that way. So save and run, and there you go, we have actual data. So the story here is, when you have some Blanco stuff in a private section and you want to use it, you must create publicly available methods to operate on those things. First to set stuff, and then when that thing is done, then to get stuff from somewhere in a PC. Of course, using objects. So yep, that's pretty much that in this tutorial. Hopefully it will be useful and simple to understand. If it's not, just use very simple like code from beginning of tutorial where we were working with one thing. And then when you understand that, go to multiple like getters, setters, like things here and such stuff. Right, I'm gonna shut up, grab a little bit of water, and see you next tutorial.